From the outside, it looked like the perfect home. A loving couple, a beautiful house, the white picket fence dream. But behind those neatly curtained windows, a different story was unfolding. A story of control, manipulation, and fear. A story that would tragically end in a desperate 911 call. Tonight, we delve into the complex psychology behind domestic abuse. We'll examine the case of Sarah and Mark, a seemingly ordinary couple whose relationship spiraled into a terrifying cycle of violence. We'll explore the reasons why women like Sarah often stay in abusive relationships, even when their lives are at stake. To understand Sarah's story, we need to go back to the beginning. Sarah met Mark at a friend's party. He was charming, witty, and seemed genuinely interested in her. They fell in love quickly, their relationship a whirlwind of romance and excitement. Mark was everything Sarah thought she wanted in a partner: successful, ambitious, and attentive. But after they were married, things started to change. Mark became increasingly possessive, wanting to know where Sarah was at all times, who she was with, and what she was doing. He'd criticize her appearance, her friends, her family, anything that might take her attention away from him. At first, Sarah dismissed his behavior as simple jealousy or protectiveness. She loved him and she wanted to believe that he loved her too. But the controlling behavior escalated. Mark would check her phone, monitor her social media, and even follow her to work. Sarah started to feel isolated and suffocated. She tried to talk to Mark about it, but he would turn it around on her, accusing her of being overly sensitive or imagining things. "Mark, why are you always trying to start a fight? Can't you just be happy?" "I'm doing this because I love you, Sarah, but I just want to see my friends sometimes. I feel so alone." "Mark, alone? You have me. What more do you need?" This was a classic tactic of abusers, to isolate their victims and make them dependent on them. Mark was slowly eroding Sarah's self-esteem, making her doubt her own perceptions and rely on him for validation. The first time Mark hit Sarah, it was after a party. He'd been drinking and he accused her of flirting with another man. She tried to defend herself, but he slapped her across the face. Sarah was shocked and terrified. She couldn't believe that the man she loved could hurt her like that. But Mark was immediately remorseful. He begged for forgiveness, promising it would never happen again. "Mark, I'm so sorry, Sarah. I don't know what came over me. Please forgive me. I'll never hurt you again, I swear." Sarah wanted to believe him. She loved him and she desperately wanted their relationship to work. So she forgave him. But the cycle of abuse had begun. The tension would build, followed by an incident of violence, then remorse and reconciliation, and a brief period of calm before the cycle started again. Over time, the violence became more frequent and severe. Sarah started to wear long sleeves and makeup to hide the bruises. She made excuses for her injuries, telling friends and family that she was clumsy or had accidents. She was trapped in a web of fear and shame. She felt like she had nowhere to turn, no one to help her. But one night something changed. Mark had been drinking heavily and he flew into a rage. He pushed Sarah down the stairs, causing her to sprain her ankle. As she lay on the floor in pain and terror, something snapped inside her. She realized that she couldn't take it anymore. He had to escape. "Sarah, 911? Help me. Please, he's going to kill me." That night, Sarah finally broke free from the cycle of abuse. She found refuge in a women's shelter where she received counseling and support. It was a long and difficult journey, but with time, Sarah began to heal. She learned to recognize the patterns of abuse, to set boundaries, and to rebuild her self-esteem. She realized that she wasn't alone, that there were others who understood what she had been through. Sarah's story is a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is hope for healing and recovery. So why do women stay in abusive relationships? The answer is complex and multifaceted. It's not simply a matter of weakness or lack of willpower. It's about understanding the psychological dynamics of abuse and the barriers that prevent women from leaving. Narrator. It's important to remember that leaving an abusive relationship is often the most dangerous time for a victim. Abusers may escalate their violence or become stalkers in an attempt to maintain control. That's why it's crucial for survivors to have access to support and resources, such as shelters, hotlines, and legal aid. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, please reach out for help. You are not alone. Remember, there is hope for healing and a life free from abuse. What are your thoughts on the reasons why women stay in abusive relationships? How can we as a society better support survivors and break the cycle of violence?